Hiya. I thought I'd show you what I bought today from the second-hand shop. Here in this one here that I'm showing you is a shop that's in France, and once a month they do a special sale in a little corner of the shop where they sell all sorts of sewing goods, which is absolutely fantastic. I love it. I've also bought things like to do collage with from this shop before. Look at these really old magazines, L'Illustration. Like I say, they sell a bit of everything, but I absolutely love going on this day in particular to buy all my material sewing related goods. So since I've only got back from England about a week ago, I thought I'd show you what I bought in England. But first, I'll show you what I bought in France. Look at these shoes. I love secondhand. Stuff that you just can't find new anywhere else anymore. Don't you love stuff that has a story to it? These are things to put your bag handles on. Bit of hardware. And it's so much easier on your budget. And then you find all these things that have already been started by other people and loved and maybe put in cupboards for a few years, and then it comes back out and it's loved again. Okay, so I'll start with the last thing I actually bought, which was this briefcase. And when I first found it, I looked at the numbers and couldn't get it. Was pushing at it, couldn't get it open. And then I thought, well, usually people try and keep it simple, don't they? So I tried 0000 and it opened. So when I went to buy it, the woman said, "Oh, careful, mind, because we can't get it open, we don't know the code." And my friend said, "Done." She managed to do it. So I was going to try that, or it would be in 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got this, and it's got pockets down this side. You can keep everything nice and flat and put all your English paper piecing in there, some patterns in there, and it can go on the wardrobe on top of a wardrobe with no trouble. So all of today's bargains are in here. For material, I chose this, which someone has. This is the border of something that had been made, the rest, what was left over. And I just really liked the colours and the style, and I thought, well, as soon as I seen it, I thought bag, because it's not. It's kind of thicker material, so it's really tough. So that was one of the pieces of material. This, like a wool, so I've already got something similar in a different colour, and I've seen lots of people doing embroidery on this kind of thing. And even last year we made these bags, and all of this is on kind of a woolen, it's on this kind of thing, a woolly base. So I see lots of things made out of this at the moment, embroidery on it, and I just really like the colour of this one, a subtle colour, and there's quite a bit of it. A little patch of blue to do possibly also embroidery. I thought of putting patches on to make when I make another patchwork jacket, inshallah. And again, really like the colour. And then this, lovely, shiny. so it would be possibly quite hard to sew on, but for making yo-yos, making things like to embellish, really nice. Threads that I thought, well, I definitely put aside more than that. There was a really nice orange that I put aside. And when I got home, they weren't in the bag anymore, so I don't know, maybe it's fallen out and in the car, but I had at least 2 more of those threads, and actually I don't even really remember getting that colour, so I wonder whether something's been mixed up. But I definitely wanted that. This is anything that changes colour like that, I really think it's worth it. A bit of white. Lace. Kind of a goldy colour lace that I really like the colour of. This for the embroidery. I've already got this in white. The same thing, embellishments. Can use your imagination for that. And then this, there was a whole bowl of it, which is going to be loads, but sometimes at our local patchwork group we'll just take things in when we've got lots like that and kind of cut bits off and people share, so I think I'll take that in and see if anybody else wants some cuttings of that. Same for this. I didn't realise it was just in a little plastic bag with a knot, and I thought they were all ends, and it's not. It's actually a full ball of this yarn. So I was thinking embellishments as well, but you know, when you've got so many that actually can go together, I'll have to have a little think about it now. We'll see. Then a little bit of ribbon, and it was 10 centimes, so because I was kind of hesitating about it, because I was like, well, what would I do with it? But I like the colours. We'll have to see. You don't want to not get it and then afterwards think, why did I not just get that? Same with this, although it's a lot more solid. Scissors, I think. It's a lot more solid. There's a bit more of it as well. But I don't know, I was thinking something for the grandkids with this, like around a bag. I've got four granddaughters, so that might be nice. Sequins. And I bought that because it was all attached. I have got some loose sequins. And so that came to €14 altogether. And that was today's bargains. Now, for things that I came back, and by the way, that shop, I mean, it has like all sorts of stuff that, you know, it's just so good to be looking in second-hand shops sometimes, because loads of stuff that you wouldn't necessarily see anywhere else. Last time I went, I bought this, so it had the pattern already traced out. I've done the actual embroidery around it. Still haven't quite finished. That was like the model that they gave, but I didn't want to use kind of I wanted to modernize it a little bit, and instead of using the actual DMC embroidery floss, I've used thicker stuff, bits of, I was going to try and see if I couldn't get other bits of wool or some of the more modern shiny things that we can buy now. I think that's Wonderfeel one. And that was €2. And it was just such a nice, relaxing project, even though it's not finished. And so, what did I buy from England? Well, not second hand. I think this is a the works. Just like packs of lovely shininess. And I do sometimes see people doing such nice things with sequins. I've already got them in another colour, and when I saw this colour I just thought it was really nice to complete the collection a bit. And I've seen people sew on little beads in the centre of each flower and do some really nice things with sequins. Things that I would never thought of. Really interesting. Also I bought new a Clover needle threader, because they were really quite expensive here, and I think, well, some of them have two holes, like a bigger needle and a smaller needle. This has only got one, maybe that's why it was a bit cheaper, but age and my eyes make it so I have to invest in these things, unfortunately, now. Quilting ruler and a small size, because you need everything transportable, really, don't you? And this that I'd had my eye on for a while, and I kept, well, they're not expensive, but you know, my problem is that I never know where anything is when I go to actually use it. So I'm gonna have to be a bit more organised. And then this from, oh, Home Bargain, I think. £3 something. And it's supposed to be a self-healing it's supposed to be a self-healing mat, so self-healing cutting mat with measurement grids. Also very portable. That's the smallest one that I will own now, that'll be going into my bag. So when I go to my patchwork group, my local neighbourhood group, I'll be taking that one along. And this is a cheap one. I saw in John Lewis's after one for, I don't know if it was 11 or 14 euros, but really nicely sewn around the edges. This is obviously a cheaper version, but solid. And I was thinking that I would like to keep some things in the car, because you just never know. And I thought I could put some English paper piecing bits in here and keep it in the car for those times when you're a bit caught out. Now, books. This one I bought brand new. So, A to Z of embroidery stitches. Now, I know you can go on YouTube now and find loads of things, but I really feel it's so handy to have something all in the same place. And I actually don't have anything like this that shows you, I mean, I do have books with embroidery stitches in, but this one's really quite complete with lots of different stitches. Really nice book, but I did buy it new, but just look, absolutely gorgeous. Second-hand shop. And I bought this thinking that I could try some of the actual patterns in it. So it does have everything already marked out, so you could trace it. And I just thought, oh, I might have a go. And then usually I don't actually read the thing. Well, I read the minimum in the book, but because I was at the airport and had nothing to do, I started reading what she would advise in fabric and in threads. And I was just going to do it in normal embroidery thread, but she talks about the different types of thread, and I think it's worth me making some notes and getting some decent threads. We'll see. She talks about like how the light reflects off of certain threads, and it's just a really gorgeous inspirational book. Of course, when you go into second-hand shops, you expect to see things that are more kind of 1970s type of thing, and I really love these types of books. £1.50 this one was. And I just really like this is what I like, is that they have a lot of designs already done, and you can modernise things, take a little bit of inspiration. And since there's quite a lot of, there's another bit of lettering in this book somewhere, I just think it's really handy to have. I just couldn't leave it there. I knew I would regret it if I didn't take it. So I got this one too. See, this is the kind of thing I've never tried. You know, one time I might come to it. And right, this time I didn't actually get this. I did get it from a second-hand bookshop, but not this time in England. But I got it out because it was I've got such nice memories of this little bookshop. It's one at Alnwick. It's a privately owned bookshop, and it's so nice in the inside. That's why it's everything's more expensive, because it's privately owned. They need to make a living off it, and they have a little cafe in there. There's like really nice seats and people kind of chilling out everywhere. And then they have this train track running all about the above your head, like on the different around the different books and shelves and things. And we had a lovely tea and cake with my mum and my sister last time. And I haven't actually done anything from this book either yet, but I just love like this isn't the right word, but like bulbousness of it. Like everything's really big, and I like that. I mean, I do really love like the fine sort of embroidery, but I know I'm not capable of doing that. And it just makes me happy to see all these other very textured things. You know, it just gives you an alternative if your eyes aren't so good, or you don't have the time to practice so much kind of the finer, more classic embroidery stuff. So there we go. And that's got stitches in as well, which is really nice. Shows you how to do certain stitches. And it's another thing that could be, obviously it's dated, this book, and it's another thing that could be really modernised and used as inspiration for a different style that's more up to date. Lovely book. I took the cover off because it was all coming apart anyway. So there we go. Well, last thing, I got this book to do collage in from the £1 shop, because it's got like a hard cover, and I thought I might possibly gesso the pages. And I collected some images from the airport, some wrappers of some things, some paper bags, you know, the free magazines that you get in the airport that you pass some time with. So good thick cover, so anything that's in it will be well protected. And the £1 shop isn't £1 anymore really, because lots of things in there were, well, I mean, look, it's a sign of the times, isn't it? Sign of the times. Well, that's it. That's all my bargains. Thanks so much for watching, and like it if you've liked it, and subscribe if you wanna.